Hello everyone. This will be a tutorial on how I make my sheet music animations because I've gotten a few requests to do that. Originally I learned to make them via Cider123's tutorial, but since that tutorial is now gone, I've decided to make one for you guys. So before we can begin, you will first need to download two software. The first one is Animating Pro, and then the other one is DaVinci Resolve, which is the video editor. You could use any video editor, but for this tutorial, I'll show you specifically how I make them in DaVinci Resolve. Links to their downloads are in the description. Now first, you will need an MP3 of the piece you want to animate, as well as a PDF file of the sheet music. For this video, let's animate Chopin's 7th Prelude in A major, as it is relatively short and simple. Be careful with the MP3 step, however, as many YouTube to MP3 websites online are viruses. If you want a safe method to download your MP3s, I use the website Cobalt. On Cobalt, simply paste the link of the video that you want to animate, put it here, click this audio button, and then hit this arrow button, and then it'll automatically begin to download your piece. You don't have to worry about any viruses. The link to this website is also in the description. Next, find a PDF of a piece that you want to download. I usually just search up the name of the piece and then a PDF. And then I just click whichever edition I like. This one's good, so we're going to download it. And there you go. Next, you will want to take the PDFs that you download and you want to convert them to JPEGs. I use this website right here. And simply drop your files in of the PDFs that you downloaded. Convert them to JPEGs. It'll take a little bit. And then just simply download them. So now here is the next phase of the animation. Open up Animating Pro and open file and navigate to the JPEG that you downloaded. Also, I recommend making a folder for the frames we're about to make. So now once we have this, we're going to make a new file. And for this new file, I recommend setting it to these dimensions, as these usually support a full page of sheet music. Alright. So now once we have that, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take a line from the score at a time, like here, copy it, paste it here. Here I just do some title stuff, it's not that important. So then we'll take the second line. I usually cut off the key signature, and then we'll copy it, we'll paste it, and line this up to where it sort of matches with the first line. And basically what this does is it gives the watcher the illusion that the animation is like continuous and it's not going from line to line. So now once we have that and you've cleared it up a bit, what we're going to do is we're going to count how many frames this file will have. And basically the way to think of it is each frame is each image where a new note or set of notes reveals itself. So here is 1 for that one note. And as you see here, I'm labeling each letter as a number. And that's because I like to animate the words so where the letters pop up one at a time. So I count those in the frames as well. So this last quarter rest will equal 72 frames. So now once you've counted everything, click File, Export. Make sure the resolution matches the resolution of your file, and also make sure to click Transparent PNG. Click OK. Since this is frame 72, we will name it 72, but I tend to make a lot of mistakes when counting, so I give myself a lot of extra numbers. So for this one, I'll call it 100. So now for frame 99, what we're going to do is we're going to remove this rest right here. It'll save your settings, so don't worry about that. We'll call this frame 99. So essentially what is happening is if you go to image 99 and then you go to image 100, it looks as if the quarter note is revealing itself. This is basically how the entire animation is going to work. So now we're just going to repeat this process of removing the note or a set of notes at a time and naming the frames in reverse chronological order. This is easily the most tedious part of the whole process, so if you want to put some music on, I would recommend doing that. Here I remove one letter at a time so I can animate the word later. This is optional. Now once we made all the frames, we can now begin the animating process. So next you're going to want to open DaVinci Resolve and then click on Title Project, and you should be at this screen. Before we do anything, I'm going to go to Project Settings. Right now, the project is set to 24 frames per second. Your animation will look kind of choppy if you do that, so I would set it to 50. Click Save. And now we're going to click File. We're going to go Import Media. And then I like to start with the MP3 first. We'll put the MP3 into the project. Make sure it's working. Alright. So now we're going to import media. And we're basically going to take all the frames that we've created thus far, and we're going to insert them into the project. So now, we're going to start with our first frame. In this case, it's frame 29. Frame 30, I believe, is me animating the letters. So before we hit the first note here, I'm going to go ahead and add the frames where I put the letters at. Okay, so now I've added the frames which has the letters of the tempo marking. So if I play it back, if you see right there, it spells out the word. So that's how I do that in some of my animations. So now next frame is frame 39, which contains the first note of the piece. And as you see here, the first note sounds here. So what we're going to do is we're going to line it up to the best we can. We're going to use this scissors button. We'll cut off. We'll remove the content after this, and we'll insert 39. And as you can see here, when that note plays, the note shows up. So then the next one will be 40, which is where the next set of notes come in. So I'm going to do the same process here, frame 40. And as you see, the first note comes up. Now the next few frames is more letters, so I'll go ahead and add that really quick. Alright, so after this chunk, this little wave is where the next note comes in, which is frame 53. So I'm going to insert that in there. We're going to go to frame 54. Do the same thing. And we're basically just going to do this for all the frames. Okay, so what I like to do, after every bar or two that we've completed, I'm going to go to Edit. I'm going to highlight all of the frames we added so far. And I'm going to right click, and I'm going to form what's called a compound clip. I'm going to create it. So in this compound clip, what we're going to do is we're going to change the composite mode to add. This is important for a later step that I'll show you. Next, we're going to go back here. We're going to click Effects, and we're going to search for the invert color. And if you drag this and put it on here, it inverts the color, which makes it a little nicer to look at. The next thing is obviously my animations don't look like this because I edit the zoom in position. So we're going to zoom in. We're going to move the position to the left. Now, let's say, because this is the max, if I still wanted the frame to go more to the left, I can change the anchor point like this and give it some more leeway here. And basically just mess around with these settings until you find what suits you the best. Alright. So we can play back and see how it looks. So far so good. What I want to do is after this quarter note plays, I want this thing to kind of zoom out into the next note. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to click this little diamond thing. And I'm going to click the diamond on the position too. What this basically does is if we diamond these points and we go to a later time and we change the zoom in position, between the two diamonds there's an interval where the frame transitions from one setting to the next, so it'll look like this. I'm gonna go to the next quarter note, and when the next quarter note goes, I would like the piece to start moving, so we're going to hit the diamond. You can click the down arrow to go to the end of the compound clip, and we're going to drag the X however we need. It seems good. I'm going to play it back. Seems alright. And we're basically going to repeat this for all of our frames. And also, this little thing right here you can use to sort of fade in. This is what I do for some animations. You can do this if you want. I don't really like how it's kind of still for a while, so I'm going to drag this diamond back here so it starts moving sooner. Alright. And that's the basics, so we'll just continue on. Now that we've done another bar or two, I will make another compound clip. Change the composite mode to add. We're going to invert the color. And so if you're on the compound clip, if you click the up arrow, it'll take you to the beginning. And if we click on this compound clip, we can see the settings we have up until the last diamond here. So we can simply copy and paste the zoom in position. I changed the anchor point for this one, so we'll have to make it the same anchor point to line up. And when we play this back and forth, it lies where the other one ended. So then, since the performer kind of rests on this half note a little bit, I would like the animation to stay still, so I'm not going to diamond it until maybe about here. So then we're going to diamond it here. And I'm going to click the down arrow to go to the end, and I'm going to drag the animation here, and we'll see how it looks. Looks nice, and we'll continue. Let's say here, between this quarter note and the next quarter note, I want the animation to do a quick zoom out and continue going. So what I'll do is right before it, I'll hit a diamond on the zoom in position, and when the quarter note hits, I'll change it to have the zoom out in position that I want. And we can play it back and see how it looks. Maybe a bit too sudden, so I'll drag the diamond back a little bit. Maybe a little more sudden. Okay, like this. Seems good. And then I can just continue position diming it like normal. For the final note, I like to turn the animation back black and white. So for the last compound clip, I don't invert the color. So we can get this effect. So now what we're going to do, now that this is all done, is we're going to go to the beginning. And we're basically just going to view the animation. Once you feel satisfied, what I would do is, excluding the non-inverted color compound clip, I will highlight all the compound clips, make a new compound clip, click add, and now here we can start adding various effects and stuff. Let's say you like how it sounds and you want to like give it that shininess as a visual. So what I would do is I would go to effects. DaVinci gives you a lot of free effects to use, so honestly you can just experiment with a lot of them. There's one called light rays that I like to use, and we're basically going to drag it onto the animation, and then we go to edit, we go to effects, and here we can we can change to whatever we want about the light rays. So obviously I don't want light rays covering the whole piece, so I'm going to find the length. I'm going to set it to 0. I'm going to set the source threshold to 1. And I'm going to set the brightness to 0. So this will be as if the animation didn't have the light rays at all. Also, you can't really see it with this animation, but so for some of my other animations, when you turn this on, it creates a ugly white background. So to remove that, just check on alpha limits effect. Anyway, we're gonna go to the chord I want to highlight, and here we basically do the diamond thing again, and set it to whatever settings we like. And then I'll diamond these to make them go back to 0. That probably could have been done better, but it's just an example if you want to add these types of effects. Let's pretend here is a chaotic moment and you want to express that with camera shake. You can search up camera shake, put it here, and then if you go to camera shake on your effects, you can change whatever you want about it. You can make it very fast, you can change the amplitude, rotation amplitude, whatever you want. I like to mess around with this one a lot for my animations, but I don't think this piece really feels that shaky, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove it. Like I said, they gave you a lot of effects you can experiment with. I recommend just going through them. A lot of them are pretty fun to use. Now, the reason why we set our compound clips to have the add composite mode is this basically allows us to have a background behind it. So I have a folder where I keep a lot of backgrounds that I like. Here I keep a lot of my effects that I like to use. So for this one, we'll use this sunny picture. We'll insert it. I'll place it underneath. And now that we have this this background, we can go ahead and edit it. I'll turn the brightness down a little bit. We'll do the zoom in. I'll make the y-axis a little smaller. And then we'll make a last little piece. This is fine, but I would like the clouds to look like they're moving. So what I would do is I would do the diamond thing where we can set X to here, diamond, and by the end of it, we can make it move over here. So now while the piece goes on, the clouds are moving slightly. I'm gonna go ahead and add a fade in for the background too. So here is the final result. So yeah, in a nutshell, this is basically how my animations are made. I hope this was helpful, and I'm excited to see what animations you guys come up with. So yeah, that's about it. Goodbye.